what can you tell us about the form that these disinformation practices that you were talking about, the forms that it takes on the African continent?
I think to start with, there's particular focus on African journalists going to Beijing and other parts of China on these all paid for trips in the form of exchanges and so forth. And it's actually not just during the 2 sessions, which happened early in the year, but throughout the year, in fact. To my recollection, this is a practice that was kicked up and made more prominent from the early 2010s, about 2012, where there's a formal, in fact, this is written in the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation FOCAC action plans of 2012, where there's journalists, at least sometimes up to 20 of them from various African countries, go to Beijing. They are hosted by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and then they go through some kind of cultural education, some kind of exposition to Chinese party life, Chinese societies, Chinese food and culture, and everything all the way to Chinese soft power approaches, so Chinese support for Africa and why China-Africa relations are part of the global South. And so they are loaded with the ideological positions that China is pursuing on the African continent. The understanding is that these journalists, selected usually from government media or sometimes the leading private media in the African continent, write back articles or shoot videos or do radio productions while they're there on the ground, but that then they become some kinds of journalistic ambassadors for Beijing towards the continent, helping build relations back in their newsrooms and persuade their colleagues on the continent to use as much content. For example, Xinhua News Agency content in their media houses, be it print newspapers or digital formats of other forms of media.